Yeah.
It is very difficult to run this school.
Okay.
Because and then we don't have our own building, so we have to pay rent.
Yes.
Rent, and we have to pay teacher's salary. One caretaker, pay him also, and then we are collecting just a few. That fee is not able to provide all things.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
And then that only that fee works. That is income is half of expenditure.
Okay.
So it's very difficult to run this school.
Do you like Prajwal School?
Yes.
Yeah, you do?
Yes, very much, because that is our school then.
Yeah.
Everyone likes it.
Yeah. What's your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is grammar.
Grammar?
Yeah.
Really?
My favorite subject is grammar.
There's like 20,000 NGOs registered in Nepal. There's 24 million people. I mean, there's 600 NGOs in all of India with 1 billion people. I mean, that relates to the law as well. But I mean, there's a reason for that in Nepal. It's a business.
Yeah.
You know, and a big reason for that is 40 years ago, with all the international aid, more than 50% of the national budget here is international aid. It's insane, right? They've raised a whole generation of expectation like that, but they've also raised a whole generation of disparity and imbalance. And the reality is that's where a lot of the conflict has come from. 12 years ago you had democracy in name, which brought with it higher expectations, understandably. But that wasn't delivered. It's cognitive dissonance. It's expectations versus reality. So you have people that 12 years ago, high expectations, we have democracy, we have all this foreign aid coming in now. I still don't have a toilet, I get sick from my water, but my neighbor is sending his daughter to Harvard, you know? It's frustrating, right? You get, I know it makes you laugh, right? But that's a definite reality.
About working in Nepal, when you started, I'm assuming you started to investigate the political situation before you came here. Did you ever ask yourself, you know, is there a point to trying to work here, given the instability?
No, because I knew somebody personally who was doing really good work here.
Yeah.
So I never questioned that. I was in Nepal for the first time in 2001, and I was working on a Habitat for Humanity project just outside Kolkata. And at that time, people were talking about Maoists and Maowadis being around, to be careful.
Yeah.
And we just didn't take it seriously. And honestly, before I came here, I didn't take it seriously at all. Since then, for the past 7 months, I've realized how serious it is.
So how does that affect you personally? How does that affect you in your daily life?
Well, when there's a strike on, there's no transport, so I have to stick around my neighborhood. Sometimes, there's lots of examples I can think of. A close friend of the organization where I work at was a man who ran the Maoist Victims Association was shot a couple of months ago. So it was the first time that somebody I knew was actually shot, and he was shot for staging a demonstration against the Maoist killings of innocent people. And that kind of drove home, I mean, there's violence all around when it touches you.
Yeah.
Kind of brings the point home.
Yeah.
And I realized that, you know, doing something called, you know, it sounds innocent and innocuous, peace-building work, but doing peace-building work in a politically volatile situation is sensitive work.
Yeah. How do you rationalize it? You're still here. So obviously you have made your peace with it in some way.
Well, because I see the results of my work on a daily basis.
There's a balance between these career bureaucrats that are getting rich in the name of charity with big white Pathfinders and fancy cars, and maybe 20% of the money goes to the community. And I don't want to get into details, but that's probably pretty obvious why I got kicked out, just opening my mouth and looking at 40 years of development and billions of dollars, but where's that money, right? you bring in the experts, and if there's such experts, you know, why is Nepal still Nepal? It's because they take all the money. I mean, that doesn't sound like an expert to me. It sounds like a crook.
So is that in this country, you'll find a lot of the people that are running the charities and the NGOs actually come from a very privileged class.
Uh-huh.
They're the people who have been educated in English medium schools, that can afford private schools there, and they function as the kind of intermediary between the donors and the grassroots people who they're supposed to be serving.
And they're sort of a money-privileged
And
inner
that's
circle.
fine, but they do come from that kind of elite and privileged, you know, very small circle in Nepal. But Purna comes from a village near Hetauda, and he built a school in a place where he's from and that he cares about. And I think it's actually rare to find somebody with that kind of motivation to come from